Begins in a funny sort of way with the original location of Hobbyland. I worked for Hobbyland when it closed back in 1985-86 before we opened our store. Now that iconic hobby store used to be located on the corner of Slater O'Connor. As you can see, the original building is long gone and it's been replaced by a modern giant office building. So there's really no remnant of the store other than the photographs we have of it. This is where it all began, 1581 Bank Street. This was formerly a bank, ironically. And when we came here, the orthodontist was in the left half of the unit, and we were on this half of the unit. We shared a common entrance. You turned right into my store. You went straight ahead to the orthodontist. We were here from 1986 until 91. This used to be a Fat Albert's. We spent many times in there having pizza and beer after work. Across the street at one time was the Independent Grocer, which was replaced by Staples, and then it lay vacant for a while. Now it's a Shoppers Drug Mart and all kinds of fun things. There's condos across the street. Those were not there before. Lots happened in 30 years. When the lease was up on this one, the orthodontist indicated that we would not be renewing our lease, so we were about to become homeless. That's when we found out the unit next door was open. Follow me. It's now a pizza place. Dolly's Hair Design. We had both of those units, so that was our second location. That would have been from about 91 until 96. It also had a basement. We took advantage of the basement, and that's where we created the Cave Comics. So we had the hobbies on the 2 units upstairs. We went downstairs to the comic department. That was a good location for us. The reason we got out of here, really we didn't have to go, but we felt the neighborhood was getting old, and we were losing the youth. Well, it turns out the youth weren't really doing models and that, but it took us a while to figure that out. So we jumped into the brand new location down in Bank Club, where we were for many years, thinking we were following the youth market, but really there wasn't a youth market. So we could have stayed here, and with the internet and that, it was a prime location because we had lots of good offices and storage rooms and stuff. You know, hindsight 2020, but this was a very good location for us for a number of years. Our actual store was located on the end of the unit, which was about here, with the driveway to get to the back here. Now, while we were in this location, we just started building this giant tower beside us, and there was a 5-story hole right adjacent to our store. So we had all kinds of demolition, blasting things going on. They also had this sidewalk completely covered with stuff to protect people from the work site, and a dumpster right in front of the store. We were doomed to fail down here. We never got a fair chance. They used to have the main bus stops were along here. Well, as soon as we got in here, they moved them. So basically, this was our little store. And then across the street at one time, we had the Atlantic Pavilion restaurant, which seems to be gone now. But Prospero Books is still there, and they were there when we were here. And as you can see, this is Slater Street, and it was just west of Bank Street, which is the next major north-south street. So that's basically it about where are they now for our Slater Street location. I'm standing in front of the former failed location of our Orleans spot. That was in around the 1997-98 period. We moved into this plaza on Orleans Boulevard. It had an independent grocer in it, and at the time there was a White Rose out here. And being as we felt it was successful being close to a White Rose, as we're kind of related businesses, we thought this would be a sure hit. But for a number of reasons it didn't take off. It was a cute little store. One unit here. Walked in, came in. We had the comic books in here as well. We had a little stockroom area in the back, and we actually ran some model classes back there. I think we lasted in this place about a year and a half before we had to pull the trigger on it. So it wasn't one of our better stories, but it's part of the history. So this was the very first location we had in the Towngate Shopping Center. It's now occupied by CAA Travel. When we came into this place, it was a semi-mall and plaza. So from the Sorma Station, which was a movie rental place, down to the Bank of Montreal, this was actually an enclosed mall. This was a cut through to the back of the mall. There were public restrooms. So you would have went into this entrance, and then there was a mall, and then you went into our store. This is a tiny, odd-shaped store. We thought we could make it work for it, because we made it kind of cute and kitschy, but we found out very early that it wasn't going to suit our needs. So we were here from about November of that year until I think it was the following Easter, or thereabouts, and then we moved to our second spot in this mall, which I'll take you to now. So this was location number 2. When we found out that tiny location at the end wasn't working for us, a number of reasons. It was too small, and we felt it was too out of the way. See, the problem with this plaza back then, when it opened 25 odd years ago, was that you had this enclosed mall space, you had this strip plaza, which at the time was anchored by the White Rose, and then you have another wing on the other side of this building which has your medical and stuff. So you essentially had 3 different shopping locations on this one property. So if you were just coming to one location, you probably ignored the rest. So we found we weren't getting found in that corner. So we moved to this one. It was a bigger store, and it was an opportunity. Docklands Trading was here before us. They unfortunately folded. We took the spot. We were here for a couple of years. The reason we had to get out of this one, because of its large size, it also had large rent. We had to get smart about this. The other problem with this location, it was tucked in behind Wendy's. For some reason, after they built the location, they decided to put a Wendy's in there, which kind of blocks most of your visibility from the street. So people could literally come in and leave this plaza and not even know you're here unless they were looking for you. But this one, you know, we kept it going here, and then we moved to our third spot in the same plaza, and this was to be the one that was going to work for us. So this was our third location in the Towngate Shopping Center. It turned out to be our best one. It was an excellent fit for us. We moved here in 1998, and we stayed here for 10 years, and we moved out in 2008. A number of reasons for moving out. Well, the main reason was the rent. The rent was getting ridiculously high, and we were seeing trend changes in the area, so we decided it was time for us to move. So this used to be a dollar store That dollar store closed and we took it over. Like I say, we're here for 10 years now. It's a sit-in restaurant portion of Gabrielle's Pizza. It was always fun next door to a pizzeria, especially on Bacon Day. That's all you can smell in the store. We were next to a paint store, a coffee shop, and of course this was empty for quite a while when White Rose went out of business, and then it became the Produce Depot, and that brought lots of people in. So with a big draw right next to you, big trends at the time like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, comic books were still rolling then. We had a lot of good things that brought in a diverse clientele, and our numbers were very good until the recession of 2008. And of course that's the year we decided to move, but we'll talk about more of that later. We're at the end of our little film. It's not the end of the story, but this is the current location. The one on Royden Place, 33 Royden Place. It's near Maryvale and Hunt Club, right across the street from Costco, which we felt would be a nice draw for us. It's a nice commercial industrial plaza, which means we get lots of space for not crazy rent, which means we can do a lot more, like our classes and our clubs and all the things we want. If you've been here before, you know we have lots of parking. That's never an issue, which is always good. And I don't know what the future holds. We'd like to stay here for many, many years, but sometimes that decision is not ours. So if everything goes according to plan, we should be here for a long time. If you haven't been here before, we'd like you to come out and check us out. So here's to 35 years, and here's to whatever more. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.